Good morning. I'm delighted to be back with another Telepost game of the week. This week we're covering the game between Kate Walker and Steve Tarr from the Shropshire individual. As always, anyone in the club who would like to see a particular game versus someone else's, do let me know and I'm happy to take a look. So after this game caches the white pieces and plays d4, d5, c4, c6, cd5, cd5, knight c3. We're in reasonably uncharted waters. I don't play this line with either colour, so I'm not entirely qualified to comment. But my database tells me that after knight f6, 5 queen b3 is a rarish sideline. It's not generally seen at the top level. It does have some virtue in pressuring the b7 pawn and also limiting the development of the c8 bishop, which is a common theme in queen pawn openings. So after knight c6, e3 is played. Knight f3 is another option, maybe to just retain the chance to play bishop f4 before playing e3. As more of a Queen's Gambit player, that's what would appeal to me. However, e3 does have its own merits. a6, knight f3, e6, bishop d3, bishop d6, bishop d2, castles, rook c1. I think we've got roughly equality out of the opening. I'd probably be quite happy with black here. However, black really does need to solve the problem of the bishop on c8 in order to demonstrate equality has sort of been reached fully. Steve took a rather drastic approach here, which seems a little premature to me given the development situation with e5. Maybe the natural response from white is to capture on e5 with the pawn. And while there are a number of, I think, reasonably complicated lines where there's interesting play is promised for both sides, this does leave white playing again with sort of a very clear target, playing against this isolated queen pawn on d5. I don't really want to get to the lines because there are a lot of them. And what was played in the game was instead knight takes d5. Now this is a little bit of a mistake because Steve had a fantastic combination here. Knight takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop e6. And suddenly realised that white's queen has only one escape square, which is e4. After f5, winning a tempo, queen h4, there is a sort of simple win for black in the position, just to play e4 immediately, forking the two white pieces, and this wins a piece. Black should have a winning position. However, Steve made a signal mistake here, playing bishop e7 instead. Now, the problem with bishop e7 is it's superficially attractive to gain another tempo on the queen. But after queen h3, the same tactic doesn't work. So if you do want to pause the video for a second, just have a look, see if you can find a tactical shot for white here. Alright, so returning to the game, the tactical shot is the effective bishop takes e4. And here now the queen's been driven to h3, this actually pins the pawn on f5, and white has gained two pawns, both the initial pawn as well as this second one. And with due diligence, this is a technically winning position. Black doesn't have significant compensation here. After f takes e4, obviously, queen takes e6. with check, and this position is fantastic for white. So instead, Steve keeps some pieces on the board, playing queen d7, and after bishop takes c6, which is, I think, a very strong move, black is to recapture with the pawn, leaving an isolated pawn on c6, giving white yet another trump in the position. After the simple knight e5, queen d5, Kate decides to continue by castling here. So just in a better position, paying attention to king safety is often an important way to ensure that you don't spoil it. And after f4, which is a discovered attack on the white queen, there's a very interesting tactic here with knight takes c6. After bishop takes h3, knight takes e7, wins the queen back with interest. After f takes e3, bishop takes e3, white's position is crushing. Kate plays a little more conservatively with queen f3. And after queen takes a2, so the queen trade is simply disastrous for black and just simplifies the technical task. So instead, after queen takes a2, queen takes c6. There's now an attack on this bishop on e6, which indirectly defends the b2 pawn. And after the intermezzo bishop d5, queen d7, simply continues this momentum. Again, the lack of any sort of stable central squares for these two black bishops really prevents Steve from getting back in the game. After f takes e3, simple bishop takes e3 is again just holding everything together, and it's really a sign for times that black has to retreat with black retreats with bishop d8, disconnecting the rooks, creating more tactical problems in the future. And after the simple knight d2, just defending this pawn on b2, bishop b6, queen d6, bishop f5. Kate finds another nice intermezzo, just playing rook a1, just to eject the queen from the a file, remove one of the threats on the white position. So here, again, just bring pieces into the game. Knight c5. Black plays a5 so as not to lose that pawn. And now d5. So this is an important point. If you've got an isolated pawn, which white's d-pawn is, one of the elements of it is that the further down the board it goes, it creates more pressure on the opponent's position. It also supports better outposts for its own pieces. So on by playing d5, this allows white the outpost square perhaps on e6 in the future for the knight. Possibility of maybe queen c6 in certain positions. So again, just advancing this pawn if it can't be stopped or taken is usually better than sort of keeping it in a static place. And after rook f6, okay, just drops the queen back with queen e5. And after bishop g6, knight d7, again, it's just very patient play. Let's check from d6 here. Obviously now you can't defend the bishop, for example. The king's now right in the corner, which can create back rank problems in the future. And just rook fd1. Again, very sort of simple move, just holding the position together, supporting this isolated queen pawn, not blundering anything. There was a, particularly after bishop h4, there was a sort of simple win here with knight b6, which, yeah, it's just forking the two black pieces. After rook e8, knight c4, rook e6, obviously the material, more material is lost, so you can't even play this intermezzo. But after bishop h4, continued with knight e5, and again there is a sort of matter of taste, you know, whether you're going for the more direct tactical solution in these technical positions, or whether you're holding the position together, increasing your advantage, and continuing to put pressure on your opponent. And here white just continues with her plan. So after queen c2, simple g3. Rook d2 is also an option, just ejecting the queen. But g3 will also more than do it. So after bishop g5, again, the only thing to really avoid blundering is some sort of situation where these two bishops get exchanged and black can take on f2 and get a serious counterplay against the white king. So after g3, bishop g5, rook d2 gets played, and now black makes the final mistake of the game, because after queen e4, knight takes g6, ends the game on the spot. Obviously, if black captures the knight, or if black doesn't capture the knight, the queen on e4 can simply be taken, and the material advantage is obviously irresistible here. So it's a very nice game, just showing the importance of even when you find an excellent combination, you just need to make sure that that is executed in the right order, and also the importance of tactical alertness in recovering from those situations, as well as a very nice technical conversion from Kate, just creating the additional weakness and then retaining a very solid position in order to win the game. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.